Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Persona. When we last left off, we finished Nemesis Tower. What you did not see was that I have actually made a run into Thanatos Tower, got all the way to the boss, and then my PSP died. So I lost that entire bit of recording. I'm quite upset about it, but I'll live. So, things I did off screen. First things first, I bought some equipment for Yukino here. She still has the Majo Sen, but I got her a Mad Max. I probably won't use it, but, you know, whatever. And I got the Daybreak equipment for her, so that she has much better defense. The reason for that is she's going to be in my front line. One of the downsides to the personas that I use is that a lot of them are weak to physical attacks, and so I want to have them a little further back. So that's why I have Yukino in front. Alright, so other things I did. I moved my personas around, and I made a new persona. So I made Vidnafir. I got an Afnak. I got a Wilder and a Knight demon to make Vidnafir. I used Afnak and Lilim to make this guy. Surprisingly a very good persona. But I made this persona in particular because there is a lot of demons in the next dungeon that use death and curse magic, and a lot of my judgment personas, hierophant personas, priestess personas, they're all weak to those kinds of attacks. Thankfully, Lilim's kind of immune. I don't think Gozo Tenno or Janus. I think Gozo Tenno and Janus are like neutral. So, yeah. So I made him to have a healer. So I put a half moon tablet on Vidnafir to have a healer. And basically move my... Oh, before I forget. Move my personas around in such a way that to kind of spread myself out a little bit. You'll see why when we get in there. So the thing that makes... I'm really worried about dying in the next dungeon. Oh, by the way, if you don't grab that easy mirror shard in the Nemesis Tower, then Toro gives you 2, which you can't get if you get that 1. So basically, if you grab the easy one and leave your friends to hang, then you end up 1 short. So that's 6 mirror shards. That's half of them in the game. So the first 6 mirror shards are spread out between the first 2 dungeons, and the last 6 mirror shards are in the 3rd dungeon. Here we go. This is where I want to be. So in Thanatos Tower, the big gimmick is that if you die, they seal your persona. It's annoying. There's a lot of, at least on the early floors, it slackens up a little bit on the higher floors, but on the early floors you run into a lot of demons that use instant death moves, or just do a lot of damage. We are kind of low level. This is partially because we kind of breezed through Nemesis Tower. If I had gone through the last few floors, I'd probably been a level or 2 higher. But right now, I think my average level is 20. Yeah, not even 25. So we're gonna have a bit of a struggle. But as long as we play carefully and pick our battles, we should be fine. Pretty much just mitigate the risk that I'm going to take to such a degree where only like getting ambushed and pooped on will get me. And that can happen. So this is Yuriko. She's the boss at this dungeon. But, these are all, the interesting thing about all of these bosses is I feel like all of them are girls that could have committed suicide. You have the boss from the first tower. She had lots of pressure from her peers and from home, like pulling her in two different directions, and like so, like I interpret the curse of the Snow Queen mask as this voice in the back of your head saying, you know, maybe you should kill yourself. You know? And that doesn't sound like much, but when you're feeling super low, when you just, like, you have that moment. Everybody has these moments where, like, you know, like you're standing on a cliff and you're like, what if I jump? And, like, where you would just almost do it. You would almost jump. And if you get a voice, like, just a small nudge, I think a lot of people would take the leap. So anyway, I don't know if it's because I played Bravely Default recently, but Yuriko reminds me a lot of Praline. Probably because she uses words like okie dokie and cutesy wootsy, but you know. Also, she's kind of a grade A biatch, but that's whatever. But you know, like the first Tower Master, she was being pulled in multiple directions. The second one, like, she's dramatic enough, I think, to where if, like, the mask could have talked her into ending her own life to show the peasants what their life would be without her. Or something, you know? Like, it's feasible to me from a storytelling perspective. And, Yuriko basically tells you her reason. Anyway, if you blow this candle out, your main character loses his persona. So we're going to blow this candle out, and Yukino is just going to do without. It doesn't particularly matter which one of the two you blow out. It depends on, like, you know, what personas you have, and stuff like that. Silly billies. I don't think I've ever actually heard somebody unironically say the phrase silly billies. So, anyway, it was a trap. So we have 3 hours to get through this dungeon, which is plenty of time. I've never done the Snow Queen quest on the PlayStation 1 version, but I imagine the time limits are a lot stricter in that, due to the fact you don't have the dash. But here we have the dash, so yeah. Alright, so we want to... I've got a list of all the enemies in this dungeon. Most of them, I think. Because I really need to pick my battles in here very carefully. These guys are fun. Attack. And zaps are weak to, I think they're weak to both element and force. You may notice that I switched my personas around. That's mainly to mitigate the weakness of the death magic. And unfortunately, Yuriko is going to take a stupid amount of damage from any magic that gets thrown her way because she's got no... she has no magic defense. She has 0 magic defense because she has no persona. So she's going to die, basically, anytime somebody, like, throws a fireball her way. Which is fine. It's okay. She's mainly there to protect my other characters, like Brown, who is weak to physical attacks from physical attacks. These chickies are dangerous. Especially this particular grouping of them. So the really dangerous demons in here that I'm worried about, I'm going to be contacting them. And the hope is, okay, so that's not what I was, that was the less desirable outcome. The desirable outcome is that they do something, they give you experience, an item, whatever, and then they leave. That's what I'm hoping for. But this is not terrible because it costs you nothing to do this, alright, first of all. And they are weak to Eternal White, and I think they're weak to fire? Yes. Yes, they're also weak to fire. So I'm going to be able to take them out. So that's not too bad, thankfully. But like they have are these the ones with Deathic? There's a move called I think it's Deathica. It just does a lot of damage, and I mean, it instantly kills you. It doesn't do damage, and that's the one I'm really worried about. But if you get up in a situation where like a large group of these enemies like do like a death attack all at once, you can die pretty easily. And it's just like, Thankfully, I have positioned my personas in such a way to minimize my weaknesses to those particular things. They can still kill me, but I'm not going to take hundreds of damage from the Mudo, and I'm not going to instantly die from the death attacks. Instant death. So Yakas are weak to not particularly anything. They resist magic and reflect guns. So we don't want to use guns. What was I thinking there? They're also weak to this. So one great thing about Vindafir is it has a lot of magic attack. So Mabufu actually does reasonable amounts of damage to everything on the screen, with the added benefit of a pretty high chance to freeze. So, it helped a lot during that lost recording. Alright, these guys are not too bad. Ocelots. They reflect something, don't they? Fire, okay. They reflect fire. In which case, we're just going to guard.
Here, go.
That's fine. As long as nobody dies, except Yukino, we're okay. You can get your personas back if you lose them. It's not, you know, the end of the world. So what do we have here? We have the Anatomy Dolls are weak to Element and Force. The Anatomy Dolls can actually do a move called Madness. I think it's Madness now. It's can kill you pretty easily, so you want to take them out fairly quickly as well. We want to do this, this, and the Babas are weak to fire.
Here, go.
Alright, cool. actually gonna replay that.
Here goes.
Nice. That was pretty good. That other path loops around this same spot. The only thing that you get to miss is this one damage tile, which is very odd that it's even there, you know? Let's see, we can go this way. And these guys, that's fine. Eternal White, Ito, and just have you guard, because the gen reflect fire.
Here goes.
Oh good, she didn't die. Alright, so heal up after every battle. Make sure you bring, make sure you brought plenty of chewing salts, by the way. 35-40 should be enough. So. And Eternal White. Nope. There we go. We should learn Eternal Black. Ow. That was my ear. By the time we get slightly higher in the dungeon when the angels start appearing. So, like I said, Janus is a very, very good persona for this dungeon. We are over here. Both those paths to the left are dead ends, so we want to avoid those. This is an ambush, so this could be very bad. Okay, it's not very bad. Okay. Alright, no, that could have been worse. What do we have here? These are Orthos. Guns. So we want to do this, and I guess just hit him with a Augie. Alright. As long as we heal every run, I think we'll be fine. We'll concentrate on the same one. Are they weak to Eternal Black? They might be weak to Eternal Black. Let me... The bad thing about this list I've got here is it doesn't list weaknesses to Death and Curse. Or Miracle and Curse, excuse me. That right there is one of the reasons why I really like having Lilim in the party. She's one of the best personas in the game, even though she has a weakness to physical attacks. But the fact that she reflects all elements and is immune to damage, basic magic, it just makes her amazing.